In modern systems, front end and back end are often separated. Different domains, different services, different environments. For them to communicate through a browser, CORS must be handled correctly. CORS stand for Cross-Origin Resource Sharing. It is a browser security mechanism that controls whether a front end from one origin is allowed to access resources from another origin. Let's say your front end is running on localhost 3000 and your backend is also running on localhost 8000. To us, this looks close enough, but to the browser, it is not, because origin is based on protocol, domain, and ports. If any of these differ, the browser treats them as different origin. That is where CORS enters the picture. Now, imagine your React app tries to fetch data from your API. The request leaves the browser. The backend may even process it. But when the response comes back, the browser checks whether that backend explicitly allowed this front-end origin. If that permission is missing, the browser blocks access to the response. That is why many developers see the situation where the API works in the Postman, but the front-end still fails in the browser. The issue is usually not the endpoint itself. The issue is that the browser is enforcing CORS rules. To illustrate this, suppose your front-end wants to call this route, get customers. The backend must return a header like this: access control allow origin, localhost 3000. That header tells the browser that this specific origin is allowed to access the resource. Without it, the browser refuses to expose the response to your front-end code. In practice, most frameworks already provide cleaner way to do this. In Express, for example, many teams use the CORS middleware. In Laravel, you configure allow origin in the CORS settings. In other frameworks, there is usually a built-in way to define trusted origin. The important part is to configure it intentionally. So the practical lesson is this: when front end and back end are separated, CORS becomes part of normal system setup. So when requests work in Postman but fails in the browser, check CORS early, check the origin, check the response headers, check whether pre-flight requests are handled, because in many real projects, the problem is not the business logic. It is the browser enforcing communication rules between two valid parts of your system.